Basically, this review is about which dart sharpener is best for you. You got the British Dart Pot Sharpener, which is common everywhere. Then you have the MVG Design by Winmau, and you have the Winmau Diamond Point Sharpener. Now, which one is best for you to sharpen a point? Let's find that out. First, we'll start off with the British Dart's Pot Sharpener. Things you have to understand is when it comes to a point on a dart, you never want it to be pointy, because what happens if it's too pointy, it's going to hit the dartboard, and when it does and it hits the metal part of the board, it's going to make an indentation in that metal part, and it's going to have a bounce out, which is not really good for your dart. So what you want to do is you want to make them pointy but a rounded tip. So you want to sharpen them. What you do is you put them in this nice little pot barrel and just do a few strokes, just go around, just to get a good sharpening. Once you've done that, notice it's a little point at the top. What you do is you want to round it off. You just kind of give it a few strokes back and forth just to round off the edge. Not much, just a little bit. And then this way here, you have a nice rounded edge, which will avoid bounce outs. And you got a nice sharp tip. Now, when should you sharpen your tips? Well, that's up to you. It's once in a while, but I personally only do it rarely. And usually once it bounce out, I look at the tip to make sure it's still rounded off, that it hasn't been blunted in any way. If it does, I just give it a quick sharpen, round it off again, and I use my dart again. So, other than all, this pot sharpener is pretty good. It's the least expensive of them all. The only thing it can't do is because when you want a dart to really stick into the board, you really want this not to be so smooth. Especially silver points are smooth. So you ever throw in a dart to a board and it just starts to fall out of the board slightly? To avoid that, what you need to sharpen this. And you can kind of scuff it up with the pot dart, but it just doesn't quite work. But at least since it's got its nice long all the way through, you can. You just kind of go along the edges here and just, not much, just a little bit. And you'd be surprised at how much that little scuffing really helps the dart stay in the board. Overall, pot sharpener, good for a beginner who sharpens their dart not too often, but likes to have a little sharper dart. Overall, great design. Now we're going to try this MVG Design. That's nice little lasted here. You can hook it to anything you want. A little heavier than the pot one, a little longer, but actually beautiful design. And it's got 2 grooves in the front, 1 groove in the back. Now the beauty about this is if you really want to sharpen your tip of your dart, is when you push it in the groove, make sure you turn your point so it doesn't end up just being pointy on one side. And then you can transfer to the other side if you want. Depends on the size point you are. Some have larger points, some have shorter points. Now again, you end up with this nice pointy tip, which is what you don't want. So what you do is you just kind of, again, roll it back and forth just a few times, just to round off the edge. And you got a nice point ready to be used again on a dartboard. And again, this is a silver point, so if you want to rough it up a bit so it stays in the board, you just kind of just scuff it up a little bit here on the edges. Not to do much, just a little bit. You get nice little scuff marks along there, and it's really going to hold in the board. Overall, I like this MVG Design because you got these nice grooves you can use, and again, when you're pushing them through, twist them, and when you finish, just round off the edge a little bit. If you want to scuff it up, you just do this. And you know, it's a really nice looking design. Now we're going to take a look at this Winmau Diamond Point Designer. It's like a pen, just hook it on wherever. Really nice. You just unscrew this point here, pull out your tip, put it back in, tighten it up, and you got this nice surface here for sharpening your darts. But most importantly, it's got a little groove right here, right along this edge, where again you can just take your dart, and as you're pushing it through, you spin it to get a nice sharpening. Then you get a nice little point here. You got this flat side on the back, so you just take it and just again, just score it back and forth, just to round off the edge. It's nicely round off, and if you really want to rough it up like the other ones, same thing here. So it stays in the board, especially silver points or some black points as they get worn. You just got, it's got a nice little round part here where you can just kind of just smooth it around, and you got this beautifully roughed up, ready to use flight. When you finish with it, you just untie it, put it away, tighten it away, hook it to your shirt, and you're done. So overall, you have the Winmau Diamond Point Sharpener, you have the Winmau MVG Design, and you have the British Darts Pot Sharpener, and there are a multitude of other dart sharpeners out there. Which one is right for you? I guess it all depends on budget. From a Canadian perspective, this was $4, this was $15, this was $35. So overall, it's up to you what you want to use. Personally, which one am I going to use? I prefer this one because this is kind of long and hard to handle. Well, not hard to handle. It's long, it's like a pen. It's not something you normally carry. You normally carry your darts in your pocket. This I can attach to my dart bag or to wherever I have on me whenever I need to sharpen my darts. And this one as well too. And it's nice, but it doesn't have the ability for me to scuff up my darts as nice as I need for when I need silver points to stick in a board. But overall, all three are perfect designs. They're perfect for anybody. I could use any one or all three and not be disappointed. But my preference of choice would be the MVG Design. I obtained all three of these from Ottawa Dart Mart. Great local shop here, and I'm sure you can obtain them from your local shops. But overall, dart sharpener is a must-have for anybody who plays darts and gets bounce outs, and make sure that your points stay nice for the next throws as well, especially silver points, just to scuff them up just a little bit so they actually hold in the board better and they don't start falling out real nice and slow. Hope you enjoyed the review. Take care and shoot well.